Hello everyone, welcome back to another pick a card reading. Today we're going to be learning a little bit about your past lives and specifically your most recent past life. So we're going to take a look into how your most recent past life might be affecting your present life, or maybe there's some karma or energy that you need to clear up from another life that is currently affecting your situation now. So what this does is it kind of helps to release old emotional patterns. Whether or not you believe in past lives is not really relevant in this sense. You can also think of this as maybe an ancestral sort of karma, because as you know, the DNA is passed down, the genetic code, the experiences are stored within the genetic code and passed down from generation to generation. So it could be past life, could be ancestral ties. So either or, whichever one you feel like you really want to gravitate towards. I'm going to be saying past life through this one just because it makes it a little bit easier. So this is a pick a card reading. So we have 5 piles here. If you felt that you're particularly drawn to one in specific, you can go ahead and fast forward to the timestamp I provide below. If not, take a moment, pause the video, meditate, see which one really stands out to you. Either or, there's no wrong answers here. So we're going to be exploring what is your most recent past life and how is it still affecting you? How is the karma still sitting in your system? Maybe a little bit about what you did or what you went through. And yeah, just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea, because sometimes we are experiencing things in this lifetime where we have certain fears or aversions to things and we're not entirely sure why. And it could be that past life energy carried forward. So we have pile number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So you can go ahead and fast forward to the timestamp provided below. And good luck, everyone. I'm going to take a sip of my tea and progress here. All right. Hello, group number 1. This is your pick a card reading for what was your most recent past life and how is it still affecting you. So we're going to take a look at that right off the bat. You chose the amethyst, so I'm seeing a lot of intuitive energy. You may have been into things in regards to like metaphysical or mystical, or yeah, just a lot of intuition coming here. And I'm seeing a lot of beauty, a lot of glamour. So maybe you had a little bit more of like a luxurious life, one that was filled with, because look at that sparkle, that's just lovely. With a little bit more luxury than maybe the time provided, or I'm seeing that you were well taken care of in your past life in terms of material sense, as well as this intuitive energy here. Yeah, dazzling. You were dazzling. Maybe you still are dazzling. Maybe that's a quality that you carry forward in this life. I'm seeing that maybe you have these really radiant kind of reflective qualities. Like when you walk into a room, you really light it up. Could still be something that you're carrying forward from that past life as well. It's just kind of in the luck of the draw there. A lot of beauty. Definitely seeing beauty. All right, let's flip them over. Let's take a look at the cards and see what we get. Yeah. Okay, so we have strength in the reversed kind of position here. We have 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, so I definitely am seeing beauty. Like, look at it. She's really kind of like, she's sitting in a waterfall. She's brushing her hair. She's really got a good life going on here for her. I'm definitely seeing some good stuff there for sure. Stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence. Queen of Pentacles, love life, and biblical. Okay, so tying into this amethyst here, right off the bat. So the biblical sense. So you might have like an intuitive nature to you. You might have been really drawn to religion or specific beliefs systems. You might have been tied into churches, or maybe had a really strong faith, which is awesome. And I'm seeing that also ties into your love life. Maybe you weren't allowed to have a lot of the, the the freedom to love who you like, or to be who you'd like. Because I'm seeing that, like, with the Four of Pentacles, you definitely have a lot of beauty and you have a lot of things going for you in terms of material wellness and well-being. You're Queen of Pentacles, so you're like entrepreneurial, you're very successful in this past life, and you had it going on. Like, you were cool, calm, collected. You kind of knew how to, you know, maybe your resources and a lot of the things that you had came from you being a really smart business person. I'm not necessarily gauging a female, but I definitely feel like it's more of a feminine energy, a little bit more of a gentle energy. Because stepping into stillness, I'm seeing that maybe you weren't able to have the voice that you wanted to have, or maybe to have this love life that you wanted to have, because of maybe this biblical tie, maybe this religious tie in here that was kind of causing some conflict. So I'm seeing, with this being in a past life, I'm seeing that maybe you're having a hard time putting down your hard work and putting down your beliefs in terms of your strength and your hard work. Because I'm seeing the strength is reversed here. So you weren't maybe able to push through some of these issues because maybe you weren't able to. Maybe it just wasn't possible in the time that you were living as a woman or as a female energy, and being able to actually just stand up for yourself. I'm seeing, yeah, a lot of these things. So stepping into stillness, I'm seeing my power is born in the majesty of silence. Maybe you didn't have a voice. So I'm seeing in terms of romance and ties and things like that, it might be affecting you now. Maybe you have a hard time. Maybe you work a lot, or you have a lot of material possession, but you're having a hard time in your love life. It's really making it difficult for you. I'm seeing a lot of these old past life beliefs of not being able to love and having to focus on other things, material things, career, or even religious beliefs that are almost like stopping you from getting into like romance or getting into intimate relationships, or even just opening your heart to love. Because I'm definitely seeing these two ties. They're very contradictory, like paradoxical cards with the love life and the biblical, because a lot of like religious faiths like ask for abstinence, or a lot of disciplines or studies or things like that. So I'm seeing that there was maybe a lot of focus on that. You may have been a priestess or a priest, or somebody that was just really dedicated to their faith, not necessarily in a specific religion, but just really dedicated to your faith. And in a way that kind of made you a little bit, I don't want to say selfish in a way, but at the same time very self-focused, just because of the lifestyle, not necessarily because you were a greedy person or you were somebody that was selfish. But I'm seeing that there was definitely like a large focus on self. So in this past life, it was a lot about the self, not really sharing a lot of your life with another person, and maybe in that sense, like maybe not being able to, like not having the strength to, or not having the ability to actually be able to kind of step into this aspect of yourself and really be like, yeah, I am opening my heart to love, and I'm really seeing a lot of this stuff come through. But I'm also seeing it's still affecting your present life. You're a hard worker, and you have a lot of really strong faiths and a lot of strong beliefs, but it's stepping in the way of you finding your love life, and you kind of finding maybe love in your interpersonal relationships. And maybe you're having a hard time speaking up for yourself in relationships, which is why maybe you feel like they don't work out for you, because you have a lot of self-focus and you're used to being a real internal energy, a really faithful energy to whatever your belief systems are. But maybe you don't have the strength to speak up for yourself. I'm seeing the reverse strength is like maybe you're having a hard time with the stepping into stillness here. So as much as there's majesty and there's power in silence, I'm seeing that you also need to kind of work on this aspect of yourself that you need to speak up for yourself, and you need to be able to know what you want, and know that you're in this time where you're allowed to pursue the things that you want now. You're no longer constrained by social or religious background if you don't choose to be. There's a lot more openness in terms of what you believe now. I'm seeing that you probably still have ties into a religious belief system or faith system. But know that in this, in letting go of a little bit of this, like the structure here, you'll kind of open the door for a lot more love and a lot more things to come through for you in terms of opening your heart to new experiences, not necessarily just like romantic relationships, but more intimate relationships, and kind of getting deeper into the nitty-gritty of things. But yeah, a lot of beauty. I'm seeing that you're a very beautiful person. You're very grounded. There's a lot of the couple pentacles here, so some earth You might be an earth sign, maybe some Capricorn energy. For some reason, I'm getting Capricorn energy. Virgo, Taurus, things like that. Taurus also definitely standing out to me with the Four of Pentacles. Not necessarily an earth sign. Just kind of be open to that. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm getting for pile number 1. Yeah, I think that's all I'm picking up on there. Yeah, hopefully this applied to you. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. Nice little quick reading for you guys. I would love to hear your comments if this was applicable to you, if you feel like maybe this past life is affecting you in terms of like how it's affecting your love life, or maybe some of the things that you're going through or some of your belief systems. But I'm seeing definitely large love life ties here, and self-love and loving others as well. Yeah, embrace that beauty you got it going on. Absolutely. Beautiful human. All right. Hello, pile number 2. So this is going to be your pick a card reading for what is your most recent past life? How is it still affecting you? Let's have a sip of tea there. And yeah, what kind of things might it be carrying forward into this life? So I got distracted by the stone here. I'm seeing that earth, like I'm feeling earth. You worked with your hands, you worked in the dirt, you worked hard. I'm seeing maybe like farming, like a laborer. Yeah, I'm seeing the little cracks and the creases in the stone means you worked pretty hard, but it's like not necessarily like a life that you didn't enjoy. So I'm seeing that you really did enjoy what you did. It's a very soft energy. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So let's pop over our cards and see what happens. Finances. Ooh, I guess the green too, hey? Oh, leaving or travel. Heart. Hearing messages from Spirit. King of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. And the 10 of Cups. So yeah, right off the bat, it's interesting too because this one, with the finances, the green is the finance as well, but I am definitely still getting, though, you worked really, really hard. Like you had a lot of, maybe like a labor style job, or just your life in general was just kind of filled with a lot of strife in terms of like physical stuff, like draining stuff. It's not that it wasn't enjoyable, because I am seeing that like just in these messages that it was enjoyable, but even from this, I'm just seeing that you worked your ass off in this life. So that's what's coming forward here. So finances, leaving or travel. So you may have been moving around a lot. You may have been dealing with finances in terms of like work. I'm seeing that maybe you had like a lot of wealth, a lot of stuff going on here, and maybe you traveled the world, or you kind of were just like an entrepreneur and going to different places, traveling salesman. Maybe you did a lot of trade, or maybe you're just exploring a lot. I'm seeing that there is, maybe you had like multiple houses in multiple countries. Or maybe that's kind of what you were striving for. I'm seeing that your finances were really tied into traveling. You might have a hard time sitting still in this life, because you're constantly traveling for your money. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting. You were trying to make a living and traveling and earning money, whether it was like you're in the transportation industry, or maybe you had to travel over boat, maybe you had to go to another country to sell goods. But I'm seeing that your profits were associated with traveling. I'm seeing that I'm a clear channel for messages from Spirit. So you were receiving signs, and you still are receiving signs. Maybe there's like these little niggling things that are in your mind where you're just feeling like you need to leave, you need to be on the go, you're kind of restless. These niggling signs are, indicators that this is like a past life thing coming forward. Maybe your family and your life is really actually quite established and you have every reason to stay, but this past life association with leaving for work, or having to be away for work, there's like something that just makes you feel unsettled. And there's these messages that are coming through that you're noticing, that you're just like, I hear you, and it's just like telling you, you need to leave, you need to go somewhere. But just know that this is a past life association that's coming through. With the King of Wands here, I'm seeing a very externalized, powerful energy. So a lot of fiery energy. So very ambitious. You're very ambitious and you really want to get stuff done, which also makes it tough for you to sit still because of this leaving or travel card. You know, we got the train tracks, we got the suitcase, like you're ready to go. You're ready to get on the road and make some money and yeah, most, maybe, you know what, maybe even like musician. I'm seeing maybe some musician, yeah, music or something to do with traveling and working. I'm 100% seeing that coming through with an ambitious spirit. So you're just like, you're dedicated. You're like, yep, this is how I'm going to make money. This is what I'm going to do. This is how it's going to be. And that's definitely a past life thing coming through for you, and hearing messages from spirit. So you're getting little messages from the universe being like, yeah, you need to leave, you need to do this, you need to do that. I implore you to definitely follow your heart 100%, because they are telling you that, you know, maybe the life that you're living, maybe you're not being true to yourself. Maybe you do know you need to leave. Maybe you do know you need to do these things. And it's deep within your heart, it's deep within your soul. And you've been maybe thinking about it for a long time too. And you know that it'll work out for you because you have the Wheel of Fortune here. And I'm seeing in the past, this was a very successful thing for you to do, to just kind of get out there and travel and see the world and make money doing that. It makes you feel more like richer than you are. Maybe you're at a point where you're not entirely sure what you want to do with finances, but I'm seeing that in your endeavors that there's a lot of fortune that was in your past, and I'm seeing that there's this like eagerness in the future, because I'm seeing in the past, you know, as much as you were working to create this success, I'm seeing that maybe you didn't quite reach the goal that you wanted to in this past life. Maybe you didn't reach the level of security that you needed. Maybe that's also tying into this feeling of restlessness. You know, maybe that's why you have this sense of, I just need to do so much. I just need to keep going, because there's this restlessness that's associated with just not having enough. You don't feel like your cups were filled, and you're scared that your cups will never be filled. But just know that there is such thing as enough. There is enough. And when you find that place that is safe for you, that place that makes you want to not leave, I'm feeling you're going to situate yourself in that place, and that's going to make you feel safe, and that's going to make you feel relaxed, and it's going to make you feel confident, and you're going to know, because you're going to hear messages from spirit, that you're going to receive messages of them being like, yeah, you know what, this is a good place, and there's going to be a lot of really good fortune around, you know, creating the stability for yourself, because I'm feeling like you never really got to plant roots, because you're so busy traveling, you're so busy making your money and just kind of out there exploring, that you never really felt the satisfaction emotionally, because you never really got to sit down and enjoy it. So making sure that you are taking that time to really enjoy your life in this lifetime is really going to almost release the karma of this feelings of restlessness, of constantly needing to do, because you can do and not have to leave, and you can enjoy and not have to leave and not have to go, and you can almost settle that restlessness by continuously reminding yourself that you have done enough, that it is enough, and that you can enjoy. And you don't want to live your whole life traveling and working for money and not enjoying what you worked so hard to do. Because I'm seeing that there's definitely a lot of energy here, and you work your ass off. You know, you do. You work your ass off, and in a physical sense, I feel like you really kind of work a lot of long hours, or you know, you deal with jet lag, and you deal with having to stay awake for long times, or having to drive or travel just in long distances. Hardworking, ambitious person right here. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for pile number 2. I hope this makes sense to you. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments in the description about what you thought about this reading. And yeah, definitely make sure to take that time to relax, okay? I'm seeing that's definitely coming through here. You can keep doing what you're doing, but just making sure that you are listening to yourself, and you're listening to when there's opportunities presented to you for you to rest, then to do that 100%. Hello, pile number 3. How's it going? So we're going to be doing a little journey at what your most recent past life is. Seeing with this stone, I'm just seeing a lot of clarity. I feel like you're going to get a lot of clarity from this reading. That's all I'm really getting from that stone. But let's take a look. A most recent past life, how it's affecting you, and all that sort of thing. Vows. Knighthood. Ooh. 10 of Wands. Three of Wands, making a difference, and Page of Swords. Okay, so you have a really strong cause. You're really dedicated to something. With the knighthood and the vows, I'm seeing that you are like, I want to say political, but I don't know if that's necessarily political. You have very strong virtue and very strong values. It could be tied into religious beliefs, but I'm not necessarily picking that up. I'm seeing that like you're just committed. You are like a martyr in this life. You're like, I vowed to do this and I will fight for it. You may be definitely a little bit of a stubborn tendency, which is great because it's definitely coming through this past life. You may have been a knight, you worked, maybe you were kind of in battle or in war. You took your job very seriously. It was a whole life dedication. You took a vow to knighthood and to serve and to be strong. So there's this need that's coming through. I'm seeing now in this life that there's like a need to serve, a need to do good, a need to give and to protect. That I see like protection, vow. I vow to protect you. You were very strong. And you were very clear in this was you had clarity. You knew what you wanted to fight for. There's this clarity is coming through. You knew what you wanted to fight for, and you put your whole heart into it, just like this. You vowed. You loved what you did, and you still continue to love, representing that strength and representing that just wholehearted. I am here, and I will fight for you, and I don't care how hard it's gonna be. 10 of Wands, yeah, you kick some serious. You carry all of the stuff for all of the people or for what you care about. You carry a lot for the people that you love. A lot. Even if it breaks your back, you almost, in a way, enjoy it because you know you're helping. You know you're doing good. And it gives you something to really hold on to. It gives you that sense of purpose, that sense of like, you know what? I'm carrying a lot, but this is what I have committed to. And this is what I will continue to bring forward. Such a strong energy. Wow, you are a very beautiful human being for what you do for the people in your life. I just want you to know that. And I don't feel like you even need like validation or appreciation for what you're doing. You're just like, yeah, I'm just kicking ass left and right. I know that I'm kicking ass. I don't need no validation. Because I'm seeing that like sometimes there's like these conflicts that come up. With these Three of Swords, that there might be some issues where you have a hard time dealing with the mental aspects of things in a way. So I'm seeing that the people that maybe you dealt with, you maybe couldn't really understand why they put so much effort into things that didn't serve them, where you're so clear about what you want in terms of like what you stand for, that you just don't understand why people have to like, you don't understand why people are so confused about things. And in that sense, like maybe you don't really understand conflict in a lot of ways, why people get so upset about stupid, silly things, because you're like, there's so much more going on in the world. Why are we going to be worrying about the mental aspects of things? Like you're this like solid person, really solid person. I'm also seeing like definitely some stubbornness coming in here. So understanding that from this like need to protect and a need to be strong, you could also be causing a few like conflicts in your life without even realizing it, because you're at this point where you're just like, I know what I want, and this past life is really like, you know yourself, you're certain of yourself, and you can't understand people that aren't certain of themselves, which almost frustrates you in a way, because you're like, what the hell, like why can't you get your shit together? But at the same time, having that mentality is almost like a little bit of a naive mentality in a way, because you're such a strong person that this personality aspect of you might come across as a little bit cold and a little bit detached. But in reality, like you're just like, you're this cool, calm, collected knight, and you are strong and you carry a lot, and you just don't have time for any of these silly, petty things. But just know that there are people maybe in your life and in your world that are struggling with some of these conflicts, and just try to be a little bit more open and a little bit more compassionate to these people, because they don't know, like, they don't know what they want to vow themselves to. They don't feel that strength of dedication that you do. You put your whole heart into what you are loyal to and what you love. Whereas like some of these other people, they just don't know. And you're feeling really confused and you're like, what the hell? So in a way, this past life is kind of making you a little bit blind to other people's like mental issues. I want to say there's like mental health stuff coming up, but it doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that that's a part that you're just going to have to work to understand a little bit more, because you are super dedicated and you are super open, and you just can't understand how people aren't. But just know that this is something that you can definitely grow in this life and making a difference. So my inner light shines far and wide. Just straight up. You want to help people. You want to care about people. You want to protect people. But just know, like, working to understand some of these, like, ridiculous, I'm saying it's ridiculous in your mind because you just don't understand it. Ideals of others, or mental health issues, or confusion, or some conflicts that people are going through. Just take your time in really slowing down and understanding the mental distress and the mental confusion that kind of comes from feeling like you're not entirely sure you know who you are and stuff like that. So that's definitely what's coming through from the people that are in your life. So making sure that you are being open to receiving some of that information, because you definitely have this strong personality. You're like, yep, dedicated, showing up, here I am. But all this other stuff, you're just like, what the hell? It's a little bit foreign to you. So just know that there are two sides to the coin, and there's another side of the coin in terms of how people are dealing with commitment and dealing with what they want, that you're not entirely sure of. Keep on being a badass though, because I'm definitely seeing that straight up. That's all I'm getting for this reading. I hope this made sense for you. Knight in shining armor. Yeah, if you enjoyed, please give me a like. I'd love to hear about what you thought in the comments, if it was an accurate reading for you. Yeah, keep on being awesome. Hopefully this past life, you can work through some of this past life karma. Much love. Hello, group number 4. So you picked the citrine. This is the citrine. It's the abundance. It's an abundance one. Abundance. Yellow. Money. Manifestation. We shall see. We shall see. Gold. We shall see. All right. Flip them over. Most recent past life. Let's go. Forgiveness. Angels. Ooh. Oh, coming into power. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, 2 of those. 10 of Swords. You really had to fight to be heard in this life. You came out on top, but not without feeling completely defeated. Like, damn, you went through some shit. But I'm seeing that this life that you had is really teaching you to forgive and to almost see the light in some of the darkest parts of people. And in forgiveness, not necessarily letting go, but just allowing that energy to pass through you and to no longer hold on to the karma or the pain of the past. Like a lot of forgiveness, a lot of white purity, manifesting, coming into power. So you're really, step into yourself in this forgiveness. It's really difficult. I feel like what you went through is really difficult and almost impossible to forgive. But you did, and you're working on it. You're working on forgiveness, and you're working on trust. In this life, I'm seeing trusting. Coming into your power, you're a strong person. You're really moving into your light, and in this life, you were really starting to. I'm seeing that there was an aspect of you that was really doubting your ability to make a difference, your ability to be a strong leader. But I'm also seeing that you came into your power of understanding that you're a strong leader, but there's this doubt that's still in here. The King of Pentacles is a really interesting balance because it's reversed and it's upright. So I'm seeing that you were working on creating this power balance for yourself, understanding what your power was and where it was lying. Because in the Ten of Swords, I'm seeing that you had a really tough time mentally and dealing with a lot of this forgiveness aspect. I'm seeing there was some really heavy stuff. Maybe you'd even, lost many people in your life, and maybe you lost people to really tragic, horrible things, which leads you, I feel, right off the bat, is you're really protective over the people that you love. You were like almost a little bit too much of a worrier about the well-being of friends, of family members. You do have a belief system though. You have a belief in the afterlife. I'm seeing there's like doves and angels here. So you definitely know that there is something more. And in getting in touch with yourself in that sense is really going to help you connect with this life, as well as to carry forward this forgiveness. So understanding that some of this need to hold on to the people that you love and make sure that they're safe, and almost like feel a little bit anxious about their safety, is because of some of this past life stuff that you've had to go through. You've lost a lot of people. You have a lot of fear about losing people. You have a lot of fear about feeling like this again. Swords on your back, defeated, on your stomach. But know that there is more strength in this life. I'm seeing the King of Pentacles. There was a point like in the past life where you'd felt like you didn't really have control, but this time around you do. You have this strong, traditional, moral presence where you're logical and you understand how some things work, and you're really working on grounding yourself in your strength. I'm seeing that you're very strong, and you're very strong to forgive. Very strong to forgive. But forgive this life because it's thwarting the life that you're living now. It's causing too much worry about loss, and you're focusing a lot on loss. Know that in coming into your power and recognizing that you need to take a deep breath. I'm just feeling, breathe, because you have the citrine. So the citrine is abundance. You have abundance. You're not going to feel like this anymore. You're not going to go through any of this painful situation. Your life is going to be a lot easier, because I feel like your last life was very difficult. You're working on balancing the karma a little bit. And you've worked on balancing this karma as well in the past by forgiveness, channeling your angels, and just kind of being aware of where you're strong and where you're in your power. So know that when you're at the end of your rope, you do have the ability to get up. You have to come into your power. You can be really strong. Ask your angels for guidance, and forgive yourself as well as others. Just allowing that energy to flow. Forgive yourself when you make mistakes. I'm also picking that up. So forgive yourself. It's all right. And you're going to come into this power, and you're not going to feel like this shitty Ten of Swords anymore. And this represents the end of a cycle. So whatever you'd been through in your past life, this is no longer carrying forward. You finished the cycle, and you're on top of the game now. So don't worry that this is going to happen again, because I'm seeing that even if you find that you're struggling with your power, or you're struggling with the different obstacles, I'm seeing that you're going to be able to come through it. So that's how the past life is affecting you. That's all I'm kind of getting for this reading. I hope that was accurate, my darlings. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. It's a little short reading for you today, just a little something something. Let me know what you think in the comments. Just gonna fix that. Hello, group number 5. Yes, that's 5, I believe. Yes, 5. Hello, group number 5. We're gonna be looking into your most recent past life. I'm seeing depth. I'm seeing depth. This past life is bringing depth into your life. Depth and intuition. That's kind of what's popping up. So, what's your most recent past life? Baby. Trees. Believing in magic. 6 of Swords. Five of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. You are you are and continue to be a very sharp-minded person, but you have a hard time learning from your experiences. Sometimes you know what you need to do. You've always been really mentally sharp, but sometimes like you're not sure how to apply some of the things that you've learned. And as well as this is definitely affecting your past life too. So this past life that's coming through, I'm seeing that there was a lot of family going on. You were family oriented, baby trees, I'm seeing family tree. You worked to create a solid foundation for you and your family. Huge focus in that. Believing in magic. True magic is abounding in life. And I'm seeing that you were very happy in this past life. It held a lot of meaning, a lot of depth. But you had a hard time mentally. I'm seeing that there was a little bit of mental struggle, and there was some times where you're feeling maybe you didn't have enough. Five of Pentacles represent kind of feeling left out in the cold, just feeling like this maybe a little bit financially unstable. But you had this really sharp mind, which has helped you get through a lot of this stuff. And this sharp mind is something that you carry forward as well. The Knight of Swords representing a lot of really calculating energy, air sign energy, like Gemini, Aquarius. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm picking up. But there was some issues with some of the things that maybe some baggage or some things that you had to carry through into your future. Maybe you weren't able to address some of these things that really troubled you in the past. I'm seeing that you didn't really let it affect your life that much, but I'm seeing that it still did in a way of mentally. It was just kind of always there, but you were pretty sharp-minded, so you're able to deal with it. And I'm definitely seeing, especially when you're feeling like you didn't have enough, like there was a lot of voices and a lot of things in your mind that were telling you that you maybe couldn't do it, or maybe constantly kept reminding you of this, but it kept you safe. I'm seeing that like it definitely kept you safe, but I'm seeing as well, you work a lot, like you have a very youthful spirit. You have a very youthful, childlike spirit, which kind of leads you to believe in magic, to live a little bit in the fantasy realm, and to see all as this whimsical, magical thing. And in this past life, you saw the same. I'm seeing that maybe you lived in like a little cottage in the woods, surrounded by trees, and you had a family there, and it was all just kind of magical and super fun and super whimsical. But I'm seeing that it might not necessarily be as plausible in this life, which maybe makes you feel like you don't have enough in terms of like, or you're not living the life that you want, even though you maybe have this family that you're establishing and this trees that you're establishing. I'm telling you, you need to like make sure that you are implementing some of the things that make you happy. If trees make you happy, put more plants in your house, if babies make you happy, maybe you need to consider having a child, or maybe this is an aspect of yourself you really be considering. You really want to plant roots, and know that you'd be able to do that. And you have the mental energy to do that. I'm also seeing that if you're like concerned that you're not going to have enough in terms of supporting a child or supporting a family, you do and you will. Just making sure that you are, you're this sharp mental, I lost my words there. You're sharp. And you have this good mental energy, but just know that you don't necessarily have to carry forward a lot of those worries or a lot of those beliefs or a lot of those uncertainties with you into this situation or into this life, because I'm seeing 100% that you're like, oh yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. You don't want to feel like you're out in the cold, that you're not going to have enough resources. I'm seeing 100% that you are going to, and just believing in that as well. So using that childlike mind of yours to just be like, you know what? Manifest, manifest, manifest. So if this is what you want, I would suggest, lighting a candle, writing your intentions under a little piece of paper and slipping it under the candle, lighting the candle every day, and just allowing yourself to really be able to open your heart to what you want, and to know that you'll have this mental clarity and this ability to kind of get through the situation, as well as being able to manage and sustain and plant your roots in a place that you'd like to, and just be open to like traveling too. Because I'm seeing with the Six of Wands, maybe there's like a reluctance to change your situation, and maybe if you're not feeling comfortable, but I'm seeing that in order to change the way that you're thinking about this and the insecurities that you're feeling, that you're going to just really need to be open to the idea of moving and the idea of changing, and to know that you will have the mental strength and the mental clarity to be able to conquer and get through that situation. That's what I'm getting. And in the stone, as well as like the depth. So the depth of your soul, you gotta really dig deep in there and to really find out what you want, find out what you need. And where you would want to plant your roots also. So the past life with this, I feel like you had this past life, and your mind and your energy is expecting a similar life, but it's not really feeling like that right now. And you just really need to follow your gut and what you feel is right, and believe in magic, believe in your intuition, as well as what I'm getting with this. Know that when you are ready to plant roots, you need to feel that safety, and you need to feel not like you're not, it's not going to be enough. So maybe even consider like downsizing or how much you actually need in your life, and really kind of take that into consideration. I hope this was helpful. This is what is your most recent past life. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear your comments in the description about what you thought. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and I will see you next time for some more card fun times. Woohoo!